some cool finds, and a little bit of R&R. Well, welcome to Finding America, and Merry Christmas to you and yours. Now, I wanted to take the chance to thank everyone that watched last week's video, Victorian Hoard Found, as it turned out to be the best performing Finding America video ever. And as a result, we have over 300 new subscribers to the channel, and I wanted to say it's really great to see you all here, and I really hope you enjoy watching my episodes. Well, Chris and I were absolutely worn out this past weekend, and all we wanted to do was go to one of our favorite spots for a little bit of metal detecting. It's a Civil War campsite deep in the woods, and it's been hunted hard since the 1970s, but we always manage to find something good each time we go there. But honestly, all we wanted to do was get out in the woods for a little relics and relaxation. Well, got an interesting target. We're sort of heading up to the top of this big hill in the woods to our site. We're just swinging along. I got a little high tone, not very deep, and I got a set of vintage Kawasaki motorcycle keys. Someone was hating life that day when they lost these. So, but pretty cool. Thought I'd show it to you. Definitely not the error we're looking for, but interesting. Well, I scored.
Yeah.
And Chris watched it come out. I even said maybe we should live dig this one. He's like, no, we just got started. And sure enough, it was something good.
Yeah.
I'm using the 15-inch coil. I am in field 1 using 2-tone on the signals. I'm hunting at 40 kilohertz only, and it really punches on the low numbers like bullets and button. And sure enough, I got a nice tone, had him come down so he could listen to it, and he got it on his, but about, I don't know, 6 inches. It said 8 on my meter, but looky here, look in the dirt. What a way to start the day.
That's a drop, isn't
Yes,
it?
sir. That is definitely a drop 3-ringer Union bullet.
Nice.
Usually it takes us a couple hours to break this place in.
That's not, could be good or bad.
So now we decided we're going to take off our 30-pound backpacks and just buckle down on this area. I said buckle, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the last video. Well, I was getting a nice 16 signal, really deep too, probably about 10 inches, and I finally got it out. And it's part of an old horseshoe. So, yep, the things you would expect to find at a camp: drop bullets, horseshoes. Maybe I'll get a button today or something, but it's just nice. This is a great place just to clear your head, get a little bit of R&R. It's the closest thing I get to a vacation, coming out to this spot. I'll tell you, I just love using this big coil. The 15 inch is really an amazing piece. It is so sensitive, and it picks up the smallest things, which is great when you're out in a setting like this. But look at this tiny little rivet. I mean, it is tiny. And it picked it up way down there. So, just had to show it to you. It's definitely a period Civil War piece, but nothing special, but it's just amazing that that big coil does such a good job on the little items. Well, this one was giving me a 13. Well, it took me a while to get through the roots and everything, but it just turned out to be a piece to an old bean pot, little cooking pot that they would have used. Here's one of the legs right there. So, pretty cool little personal item from the camp. So that's a neat little piece there. Well, I only came away from there with one single bullet, but I was happy to have found it and to be the very first person to have touched it since it fell from the hands of a Civil War soldier 160 years ago. Now you might recall the engraving that I showed you right after I found that Civil War bullet earlier. Now that was done by a man named Thomas Nast, and it was called Christmas Eve, and he did that all the way back in 1862. Now on the top portion of the engraving, he depicted the hopes and joys of Christmas time during 1862 by showing Santa climbing down the chimney and riding his sleigh. And down at the bottom of the engraving, he depicted the hardships and sorrow of Civil War soldiers marching through the snows of winter, and the many gravestones that were already dotting the landscape. Now on the left side panel, a woman with her children tucked in bed is on her knees praying for the safety of her husband and hoping that her family will be whole again. While on the right side is a picture of her husband sitting at a lonely campfire holding the family photo album, thinking of them and also hoping that his family will be whole again. So remember, the next time you find that lone Civil War bullet, it's not just a piece of lead. It was last held by a Civil War soldier struggling to survive and to reach his family once again. It may have been lost on a cold winter's night next to a lonely campfire, and it may even have been lost on Christmas Eve. Well, the next day on Sunday, I had some free time, and I just wanted to go do some more metal detecting. So I headed back to that incredible hillside to see what else I could find there. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun and made some really cool finds. Well, my first good target here is something really pretty wild. Chris found one of these on one of our last hunts up here, and now I found one. So it's pretty cool. It's a some kind of brass pin. Now, I was getting a 15 and then I was getting a high tone depending on how I approached the hole. Now I know why. But we're still not sure what these are. I'm thinking maybe like a hinge pin. It went down and in the holes on like a door hinge. But I'm not quite sure exactly. So if anyone has any better ideas out there, I'd be glad to hear them. But that's my best guess. Well, this target was a big iron target. Finally got it out, and that's what it was. I tell you, don't you hate it when you dig something and it's like, I've seen this before, but I just can't place it. I mean, I immediately thought of like an old antique car jack or part of a kit for like a car jack, but I just can't remember. So I'll chalk that one up to dunno. Well, this one was giving me a 12. It was kind of a big target, so I figured it was going to be iron. It was about 6 inches down. I popped it out, and it looks like it's going to be a horse tack or harness ring. So pretty cool. I like finding these because, you know, you got a chance to find something old. So I will definitely take that. Well, this one was giving me a 12 to a 13 signal on my VDI. It's been raining and then getting sunny and then raining, so it's getting messy out here. But I got a nice little find out of this. I got a silver plate. I'm assuming it's going to be a 4-candle, but it is also monogrammed. It's a little hard to make out. It might be FEM, but definitely old. Definitely would put it at 1800s to turn of the century. So very cool piece. Happy to have that. Well, the sun came back out just as soon as I got a beautiful 23-24 signal. Dug down, it was only a few inches down the plug, and I got myself an early weedy. And I toothpicked it, and it looks like I've got a 1919. Looks to be in pretty good shape. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. I'll get it cleaned up a little more when I get home, but happy to get that. Always, I just love digging early weedies. Well, this target kind of freaked me out when I popped it out. It was a 13. Had to go pretty far down, 6-7 inches. And check it out. When it popped out, I thought it was some type of medallion or something because this hole at the top. But I think it's inner mechanism frame for a pocket watch. I've never seen one like that with a hole at the top up here. So I'm not going to mess with it too much. I want to put this one in apple cider vinegar, hoping possibly that there's a maker's mark on it. I might be able to date it. Well, this one was giving me a pretty darn nice 20 signal. I dug down and look at that. And I gave it just a quick little brush because I thought I saw some type of kind of fake gemstones or something. I don't know what it was. It may be on a pen, but it's an old piece of costume jewelry. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm going to leave it just the way it is and clean it at home. And it should be interesting to see what it really looks like. Well, I got another signal. I'll tell you what, I'm just having fun out here. There's nothing better than digging up signals on a Sunday afternoon. And this one, let me think here, this one was giving me a 12 and it was a little choppy, and then I realized why once I got it out, but it's pretty cool. It's a little clock winding handle. It's definitely an old one, but that's a nice little find. Well, this one was giving me a 14. Dug down, it wasn't very deep, maybe an inch or two. And I'm not really sure what it is. It's got some sort of a design in the center there. I don't know. I'll clean it up when I get home. I don't know, it might be a little mystery find. Well, I switched things up just a little bit. I switched over to the 6-inch coil, and around this tree, this is where I found that sterling silver face the last time. It was probably part to a dresser mirror or something, but very cool piece. And I noticed it's just loaded with signals. So I'm hunting in part 2 6-inch coil, and I got a 15, and I dug down and I saw this. I'm like, what in the world? And then I saw it has some writing on it, and it says sterling back. So this is actually sterling silver. It may have been the back to a button, not quite sure, but that's pretty cool. Nice little piece of silver, and definitely 6-inch coil did an awesome job sniffing it out. I am just crawling along here, going really slow, and any conductive signal I get, I'm digging. Well, I'm working right up against this tree. Got a nice little 11 to 14 signal. Wasn't deep at all, an inch maybe. And it's just a cool little piece. It's a really old shotgun shell. So it's an early Peters with a big P logo. And that's going to be early 1900s. I think it says HV down here, probably high velocity, 12 gauge. So pretty cool. I'm going to date it, see just how old it is. But I think it's going to be teens to 30, somewhere in there. So pretty cool little find. One of the most iconic symbols of Christmas in America is that huge and magnificent tree that's erected every year in front of the Rockefeller Center. Well, that larger-than-life tree has much more humble roots. Back in 1931, during the Great Depression, while they were constructing the Rockefeller Center, the workers erected a 20-foot balsam fir tree and decorated it with what they had on hand: strings of cranberry, paper garland, and a few tin cans. I was getting a pretty decent solid 14, really deep though, about 9 inches. Pulled out a couple huge rusty nails, and then I got this out, and it's kind of cool. I have no idea what it is, but it's very decorative and kind of falling apart. So I don't know. I'm going to get that cleaned up when I get home. And I'm just not sure if I'll be able to figure out what it is, but it's an interesting piece. I just wanted to show you that one. Well, this one was giving me a 19 to a 20, and dug down about 6-7 inches. I think I might have another jewelry pin. I think I can see where the pin was at one time, but I'll get it cleaned up. Kind of interesting piece. I'll have to stick this one in the fragile box. Very thin piece. Well, this one was giving me a banging high tone, about 30, 31, hoping for some big silver, but I got a small doorknob, I believe. A bit mangled, but yeah, an old brass knob, so pretty cool piece, and just had to show you that one. Well, I got a 14, pretty deep, 6-7 inches, and I can't live without these things. Check it out. Model T valve stem. I don't know. I have found way more of these than I have silver coins this past year. Well, another really deep 14 signal, about 11 inches, and it's very cool. It's an early, looks like a Victorian doorknob bezel. Now, it might be the match to the doorknob I found earlier, so that's kind of cool, but look at the design on it. That is awesome. Well, I was getting a pretty large 14 signal here. Finally got it out, and another piece of decorative trim, probably an escutcheon, a piece of furniture, but pretty darn nice. Probably Edwardian era, late 1800s, early 1900s. So pretty neat. Well, I was getting a 19 to 21 signal. Definitely wasn't expecting to see what I saw in the hole, but not surprised with this area. Look at there, another sash buckle. Jeez. And this one might, let's see. I don't know, I don't see much of a design on it, but very cool. It might be like one I found in that hoard last week. And I had the 3 buttons on this side and plain on this side. But very happy to have it, and I'll get it cleaned up, give you a better look at it. Jeez, it's almost like I can't come here without finding a sash buckle, but I'm certainly not going to complain. Well, amazingly, I have another sash buckle to add to the collection, and I really hope you enjoyed watching this episode. Now, in the spirit of the season, I have some beautiful historical photos of American Yuletides of yesteryear coming up in just a few seconds. And remember, it's history that makes that bullet a treasure. And I cannot wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.